Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm just going to be talking through the wheel. A couple things I want to talk about. First is, you guys probably noticed, anybody that follows my channel, I haven't posted in quite a while. I've been less active on YouTube lately, and there's not really one reason behind that. I guess I could chalk it up to I haven't really been doing interesting stuff for the last little bit. I did the series on building my shop. I kind of scaled back on that a little bit. I wasn't doing enough, making enough progress to make one video about, hey, I'm doing this today or this, you know, it's like little things here and there. So I didn't bother filming it. Anybody that knows about, you know, everybody knows. It's hard to stay on top of making interesting content, editing, posting, and all that stuff. And I don't just want to, you know, I don't want to put out filler stuff like that. I've put out content where I'm like, man, this is just boring, but I gotta put something out, right? And so that gets a little bit taxing after a while, and so I just kind of took a step back. I wasn't doing much drifting wise. Any cars that I was working on or building weren't interesting, or I wasn't doing any real progress. So, you know, I didn't make a conscious decision I'm not going to post anymore. It's just kind of like, well, I don't really have anything going on, so I'm not making content. But I miss it, right? I enjoy doing that, enjoy the content. I enjoy interacting with people who watch my videos. I appreciate those interactions, and I appreciate the people that watch. So thank you guys. I realize a lot of the following that I have came from Drift Week stuff when I was doing Drift Week. And there's another Drift Week coming up, but it happens to conflict with a trip I have with my family to Europe this summer. So I can't go on Drift Week 11, unfortunately. But I am competing this year in Hot Pit. It's official, it's already been released. Anybody that's following that would see my name in the list, that I am officially competing in Hot Pit for 2026. And that's exciting for me, because last year I didn't do anything. The year before that I didn't do Hot Pit, and I enjoy the competition side of things. I want to have a fast car, I want to get on the podium, I want to go win. And so I didn't want to take my S13 again. There's a couple reasons. I could get way into it. How about I get way into it? My S13, we put the quick change in it, but the way that we did it was right, well, the way that the fuel cell was mounted was right in the way of the rear cover for the quick change, so we couldn't even swap gears. We literally had to remove the differential to change gears in my quick change. So I knew that we needed to fix the fuel system in that car, which means different fuel tank, and then if I move the fuel tank, then I need to move the radiators that are in the back, redo the fuel lines. There's quite a bit to it. Not terrible, right? But also the engine's bad in that car, so it needs an engine and a fuel system at least, and then it probably needs new bodywork and new paint, which I have, but it's just work. So that car, S13, needs work, right? I can put a dollar amount and probably a time figure to how much work that car needs. Aside from that, I really want to drive the Chaser. I want to make the Chaser into a pro car. So that was my plan, was to build the Chaser, have that be my pro car. Well, I don't want to build the Chaser slowly or quickly. I don't want to be in a hurry. I want to build the Chaser with time. I want to do a really good job. I want to make it a high-level build. I want to put all the experience I've had over the last, 10 or 15 years since I built my S13 Pro car, and put that on a canvas, and that the Chaser is that canvas. And so I want to take my time with that build. And I was going to do it. I was going to start it in the fall and have it ready for the spring. That didn't happen. And so now I'm kind of backed in a corner where I don't have time to do the Chaser the way that I want to. Aside from that, I want to make fiberglass molds of the clean doors on my Chaser, because as soon as I get a door dent in that car, it's just that's gonna be a tough one. Rear doors are not a problem, because the Origin kit, which I have 2 of, have rear doorvers, so that covers the doors that they get if they get crashed or anything. I don't have any fiberglass doorvers for the front, or any replacement doors at all, and they're not easy to find. So, if I had a pair of spare doors, I'd be like, all right, let's go drift that car, Ironically, I actually have an A pillar, B pillar, C pillar, a roof, because I cut up another Chaser and I sold the quarter panels off of it and a couple other things. But if I get T-boned in that car, I could actually replace the B pillar. I could cut it out and replace the B pillar because I have one. I don't have doors. So anyways, that's the reason I'm not doing the Chaser yet. And I want it to be a really nice build, and I want to document the whole thing. I want to make a really cool build series about the Chaser and have it be just next level. Because, I mean, you guys watch my channel. I tend to throw things together. That's just kind of my nature. And I want to prove to myself and to you guys that I can do better, but I don't, because I always put myself in a situation where I'm in a hurry. So if I'm not in a hurry and I can build the Chaser to a higher level, I kind of want to see where I max out. What's my skill level when it comes to building a pro drift car? So moving forward, if you've watched the last couple videos, that is my new IS300. I had no intention or no plans of doing that, but like you see in the videos, it kind of fell into my lap, and I'm gonna roll with it. It's the roll cage is actually really well done. The whole chassis is stitch welded. The front of the car is bent, but in a way that doesn't matter. It's all the crash zone that can be bent and not affect the suspension. So that is actually the perfect car for me to build and not really worry about riding it off. If I put that car into a wall and it gets completely bent, I'll just straighten it back out and finish the season, right? Like, it's not, if I wad up the Chaser, that's gonna be a tough pill to swallow, because I can't just get another one. I'm not gonna build another Chaser from scratch. So if that Chaser gets totaled, that's the end of that car forever, unless I, cut it in half. But it's possible for that Chaser getting totaled to like really, really set me back. And if you guys remember my my budget build S13 that was completely totaled, that was really hard. That actually took a lot out of me drifting wise. I was doing clutch kickers and I was doing pretty well, and that happened mid-season, and yeah, it was really bad. It kind of ruined my drifting for the last few years. And not to say that would happen with a Chaser, but it's just, anyways. This IS300 is the perfect car for me to, and the budget build was too. I don't want to take that. The budget build was literally almost the same thing. I took a scrap junk car that I got for 500 bucks, put all my fancy parts on it. So when it got totaled, I just took all the fancy parts back off of it, and I was out some paint and a bunch of time and a $500 chassis. So not that big of a deal. The Chaser's way different, right? If that gets written off, the value of writing it off is a lot different than a $500 chassis. Anyways, I digress. The IS300, for a few things. I've wanted to drive a Toyota. I've wanted to drive a four-door competitively. I've driven the IS300s a lot for fun. I've driven, medium power. I think I had 450 in an IS300. Drives great. The cars have good grip. The front suspension and steering is really good, same as the Chaser. I have Wisefab for that car, so things kind of like went the direction where, hey, I could really put together a competitive drift IS300, and it wouldn't cost me that much. I have all the parts for it. And so that's where I'm at. I'm building the IS300. What are we gonna do? I'm putting a JZ in it. I'm gonna shoot for 600 to 700 horsepower. I'm putting a 3582 turbo on it, and I wanna max that turbo out. So the engine should be strong enough for it. I've got the fueling, I got the injector for it, I've got the ECU for it. Everything should be able to reach that power number. It's just a matter of what the turbo will do. We're gonna run it on ethanol, and I'm running a CDO9 behind it. I have two dog boxes. One of them's in my S13, and it's a top shift. It would work fine for this. The problem with that is I want to use that for the Chaser, so I don't want to build this car around a transmission that I know I will use in the Chaser in the future. Second dog box I could use. It's a side shift. It's a T101, handcuff T101. It's a really good, strong transmission. The problem with that is the gear ratios are NASCAR gear ratios. They really suck. First gear is 177, second gear is like 149, third gear is 119. So not good, especially maybe if you had a high torque V8, but not for a JZ, no chance. So I'd have to re-gear that transmission, and that's gonna cost me probably $1,000 or more to do that. And if I had more time, I would probably look that direction, but I have a CDO9 from a 370Z. The synchros are all good, and everything works on it great. I have a triple disc clutch for it, so I have everything all ready to run the CDO9. So what I'm going to do is a CDO9 with a quick change differential. I have the quick change for the Chaser. Chaser's not ready. Quick change can easily be swapped between cars. And so I decided I have a spare subframe. Why not just, you know, build the subframe for a quick change? It's not that hard. I have plenty of rear subframes for IS, and I did that. I'm making a whole video of just installing a quick change in an IS 300. Took me about 10 hours from start to finish, from actually cutting the subframe to the time the whole thing was installed on the car. So that was from a JZX90 Chaser. So the axles fit the IS 300, the diff fits the IS 300, everything just worked. So why not, right? Because I can swap that now between my Chaser and my IS 300. So CD09, quick change, 2JZ, 700 horsepower, Wisefab, roll cage. What else do you need? That should be a good competitive car. We're running 265 Zestinos in this series. So, you know, as long as we can put the power to the ground, I think the car's gonna be really, really good. So that's the plan this year, is to run that car. Still working on that project. I'm gonna be releasing videos between now and the start of Hot Pit of building that car and getting it ready. But yeah, I think that's that. I want to be more consistent with my videos, so thank you guys for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments, your likes, all that stuff. Looking forward to Hot Pit. There's a lot of good drivers this year, and it's a high level of competitive driving. I would say, you know, it's getting to the level of Pro Spec, or maybe even beyond of what Pro Spec is, right? Because Pro Spec is limited by a pathway to get into Pro Spec. You have to qualify for a license or anything like that. So that doesn't necessarily mean the cream rises to the top, right? It just means you found a way to get a license for Pro Spec. Where Hot Pit, people are cherry picked by the Hot Pit team. So potentially a driver that can't afford to, can't do the travel, you know, doesn't meet the tech requirements, whatever it is for Pro Spec, might actually have a better car and a better driver than some guys that are in Pro Spec. So I would put Hot Pit on the same level as Pro Spec. You also get drivers that come from Formula D Pro and Pro Spec and drive in Hot Pit. So I don't think the level is any different than Formula D. I just think the series is different, and I love it. My target's set on Hot Pit. I hope to do it for the next several years, and I want to do really well with it. So this might be the car that I use for a couple years if it works out while I build the Chaser. And maybe I bring the Chaser out once in a while. I don't know. Anyways, that's it for this video. We're pushing 13 minutes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for following along. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't yet, please do. If this is content that you enjoy, I hope we have a wild season. My favorite are the videos at the track when we just film it raw and real, you know, and things just get wild. So I have some old Hot Pit videos from the past. If you want to go check that out from a couple years ago, just scroll down in my channel and you'll find some of those videos. And that's all. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.